What if I told you that the United States once fought a war against France and most Americans have no idea it ever happened? What if I told you that this war was fought entirely at sea, with no declaration, no treaty, and no clear winner? What if I told you that the only American death was a man killed by a falling mast? This is the story of the Quasi-War, and it is the strangest war you've never learned about. After the American Revolution, France was America's first ally. The French had sent ships, soldiers, and millions of livres to help the colonies defeat Britain. But by the late 1790s, things had changed. France was in the middle of its own revolution, chaotic, bloody, and paranoid. French privateers began attacking American merchant ships, seizing cargo and imprisoning sailors. Why? Because America had signed a trade deal with Britain, and France considered that a betrayal. The French argued, "You were our ally. Now you trade with our enemy. Your ships are fair game." The Americans argued, "We are neutral. You cannot attack our ships without cause." Neither side declared war, but both sides fought. This is where the Quasi-War gets its name, quasi meaning almost or seemingly. Almost a war, seemingly a war, but not quite a war. President John Adams wanted peace. He sent 3 diplomats to Paris to negotiate with the French government. What happened next became known as the XYZ Affair. The French demanded a bribe, $250,000, just to begin negotiations. Then they demanded an American loan of $12 million to fund France's wars. The Americans refused. Charles Cotesworth Pinckney famously declared, "Millions for defense, but not 1 cent for tribute." When news of the XYZ Affair reached America, the public was furious. Millions for defense, but not 1 cent for tribute became a rallying cry. Congress authorized the creation of the Department of the Navy. They authorized the construction of new warships. They authorized American ships to capture French privateers. But Congress never declared war. The Quasi-War was fought entirely at sea, mostly in the Caribbean, where French privateers preyed on American merchant ships. The young American Navy proved itself against one of the greatest naval powers in the world. In February 1799, the USS Constellation defeated the French frigate Ellen Sergeant in a fierce battle. It was America's first major naval victory as a sovereign nation. The Constellation later fought the French ship La Vengeance to a standstill, battle so bloody that both ships limped away, leaking and broken. Here is the strange, dark humor of the Quasi-War. The only American killed in combat? Not by a French bullet, not by a French cannonball. A sailor was crushed by a falling block of wood during a storm. The war was fought for 2 years. Millions of dollars in damage. Hundreds of ships captured. And only 1 American died from a falling mast. The Quasi-War ended in 1800 with the Convention of 1800, a peace treaty that quietly settled differences between the U.S. and France. Neither side lost. Neither side won. Nothing changed. America continued trading with Britain. France continued fighting Britain. And the Quasi-War became a footnote then, a forgotten paragraph, then nothing at all. Why was the Quasi-War forgotten? Because America wanted to forget. The war was awkward a conflict with an old ally that embarrassed both nations. No great battles, no heroic deaths, no territory gained. It was the war that nothing happened. But the Quasi-War mattered. It established the United States Navy as a permanent fighting force. It proved that America could defend its shipping against European powers. It gave the young republic confidence, a sense that it could stand alone. And no one remembers. Now let me ask you some questions. Number 1, why do you think America buried the Quasi-War from history books? Number 2, what other forgotten wars should we cover on this channel? Number 3, if only one American died from a falling mast, was this truly a war? And finally, what story have you been eager to see on this channel? Subscribe to History's Hidden Darkness for more stories of the strange, dark, and untold